Welcome to the One Shot Effect podcast. Today is the 24th episode of the One Shot Effect podcast, and today's guest is Alexandra Manhardt. Is that how I say it?
Yes. Alexandra
Awesome.
Manhardt. But in English it sounds a bit different.
It's a very cool name. And yeah, where are you from? And yeah,
I
let's
am
start
from
there.
Austria and I had the chance to meet you when I was visiting South Africa because I was connecting with you through threads and I'm so happy that I can be on your podcast today. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we managed to do a little nature mission. I think that was
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
And yeah, what was your experience in Cape Town in South Africa?
It's so different from Austria at the moment because we have winter now and you have summer, which is so interesting to see because it also helped me to open my mindset and also shift a bit because in Europe, kind of, everyone told us that yes, South Africa or Africa in general is a poor country and I should be aware that it's so dangerous. But when I was there, I never felt that it's dangerous, which was super interesting for me and also helped me to figure out that only if you see the things yourself and if you live them, you can really talk from experience. And if you want to, I would like to also tell what I'm doing because I studied environmental science for 3.5 years. Oh, sorry. I studied environmental science for 7 years and then I was working in the field for 3.5 years and I figured out that this wasn't what my life should look like. I should be happy doing what I want to do, and this is after long illness that I figured out that I want to do something which has a big impact because this was my goal from the start, kind of. Since I have been a little child, I wanted to have a positive impact in the world. And yeah, so I decided, or I sat one day in the underground and I was able to, yeah, because the thing is, I have had health issues. I couldn't walk. I couldn't go out of my flat for almost 2 months. And then I was able to go out again and I was sitting at the underground and everyone was staring at his phone. And I was like, wow, what's happening here? Why aren't the people happy? Everyone should be happy because they have all the opportunities life gives them. And this is why I decided, okay, I want to change that. And this is why and this is why I was opening the Remarkable Opportunities podcast, where I interview experts from different areas because I want to show the different opportunities your life can hold. But I also want to talk about mental health because for me, mental health is such an important topic. And I see that it's getting more and more in the world that people become aware that not just the physical health is super important, but also their mental health because what you think about yourself defines your life. And yeah, I am about to change my channel right now because I also have a YouTube channel. And I'm super happy that I can talk about this with you today.
How are you changing your channel?
Yeah, so I started Remarkable Opportunities because I was in this environment bubble all the time. And for years, I haven't figured out that there are so many different things that you can do with your life. You can be, for example, stuntman, you can be pilot, you can be whatever you want. But I was so in this environment bubble that I haven't seen the other opportunities. And this is why I started my channel with or under the subject life opportunities, success, and also because success is different for everyone. And also with the happiness, like as I said, the people were sitting in the underground and no one was happy. And this is why I wanted to bring in more happiness and ask the experts for their insights, how when they, for example, are entrepreneurs, how they maintain their happiness in their life, even in stressful phases. And then I realized, okay, it's not about, yeah, for me, it's not about the success. It's about mental health, because this is how I healed myself. I healed myself through having better thoughts about myself, having healthier habits, and also having no problem with money anymore. Because of course, money is also a subject that all the time is important for your life. Because if you have a lot of money, you can also do a lot with money, you know? And this, because for me money was always like, I should keep it for myself, I can't spend it, because if I spend it I feel bad. And I had so many negative beliefs, not just in money but also in my, or towards myself. And this is, after all these years I was discovering this, and this is why I want to share my expertise now as well. Because I think I can really, not I can, I think I know that I can really have a really inspiring story to tell. And this is why I want to reframe remarkable opportunities right now.
Would it still have guests as well?
Yes, yes. So, for example, this week I am interviewing one of the most famous YouTubers. He is famous in the area of gaming. He has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And I think learning from experts in a field is very important. And as I said, I haven't seen the opportunities my life can hold for such a long time. And I want to have this in my channel for as long as ever, because I think this is so important. Because if you don't know which opportunities you have, you can't go for them. And
Mhm.
I think this is so important that I want to also have other experts, because so many people thought that I just interview entrepreneurs, but no, it's not about entrepreneurs, it's about the life's opportunities. And yeah,
That is so exciting and interesting. Yeah, gaming is an interesting thing as well. Like, there's just so many opportunities, especially that the internet creates as well. Anything that
yeah.
you're passionate in, you can find others that are passionate about it too. Definitely.
That's so true. That's so true. And as you said, there is so many things that you can do with your life. For example, last week I met a girl and she is a professional dancer, and you can see her passion, you know? And when people see this passion, they also can feel it, and they can
Mhm.
also reframe their mindset to go for their dreams if they see a person who inspires them. And I think this is so wonderful. And this is why I said to myself, okay, I want to also have experts from different areas to share these remarkable opportunities your life can hold, but also help you to go from, or help you with a mental transformation towards a personal growth.
Yeah. And how did your podcast get started, and how did you like find your first few guests, and what does that journey look like? I mean, it's such a journey of like how one guest leads to the next, and yeah.
So it started with, I want to do this, I want to have this positive impact in the world, but I didn't know how to do it. And then a friend of mine said, Alex, you can do a podcast. And I was like, a podcast? I don't know. And then I was overthinking for 1 year about doing it. And one day I sat in the underground and I saw all the people, as I said, and I was also walking through the first district in Vienna, and everyone was capable of doing something, you know, and I wasn't at this point. And I was like, okay, I really need to change that. I want to see happy faces in the world all the time. And then I said, okay, let's start it. Let's do it. And my best friend at this time, he was also so in. He helped me with everything. He was the technical part. And then it came one after each other. Like the first interview guest was a friend of mine, which had a really, really unbelievable, interesting mindset. And I knew this. And the first episode, if you listen to it, I mean, it's German, but you can hear me talking like really stiff, you know? And you can, yeah, I can see myself right now. I changed so much, and I think, yeah, this is what I want to share with the audience. Please start whatever you want to do. You will improve over time, and you will be so amazed about yourself, what you are capable of. And I now, for example, I'm studying my old content and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that my messages back then were so inspiring. And I think this counts for everyone. You just have to start. And I know that starting is really, really difficult because you don't know where to start because you haven't done it before. But the thing is, starting doesn't matter where, but a friend of mine always says, Alex, you just need to take the next step and then the next step and then the next step. And then you have this path already. And then you can look back and see if this path leads you towards the right direction. And if it's not looking into the right direction, you can shift it as well. So just start and you will see how it turns. And yeah, so nowadays I like the guests are coming to me or I meet them at different networking events, or for example, we met in South Africa, and I think for example, when I see someone where I think, okay, this is super interesting, this should be shared with the world, then I'm asking this guest if he can or she can do a podcast with me because I think the expertise in this field is so inspiring. And yeah, then we are having conversations, and I am also learning from every podcast so much. And it also inspires me so much. So yeah, for example, 2 months ago, I had an interview guest and she's a professional fashion influencer. And I thought because she's doing this so great, doing her reels and everything, that she has help. And she said, no, I'm doing everything alone. And I was like, oh my God, you have 10,000 followers and you have those professional videos, you have this perfect content with the keywords and hashtags and everything. And I thought, and also with the community behind it. And I thought she has a second person, and she said no. And then I was just like, oh wow, oh wow. And this also was for me, okay, so much is possible. And this is why I want to also go now for my dreams and make remarkable opportunities big.
I also love the name Remarkable Opportunities, by the way.
Thank you.
But also, such a big thing exactly is that, like, people think, oh, I need the really good camera, the really good microphone, the this, the that. But all of that's just like, you know what I mean, excuses. It's like, yeah, start where you are. And like, even almost the worse you start, the better you can improve, right? If like you like procrastinate and like make the perfect first episode or whatever, then it also can like put a lot of pressure on yourself to like for the next episodes as well. That can like stress oneself out. It's just like going with the flow and like starting where you are and like doing what the best you can do today, and the best you can do tomorrow will look different, right?
Yes. So the thing is how I started also just with my phone. There was no professional micro, there was no professional light or anything. And I just started and I improved myself over the time. And now, for example, I'm learning about storytelling to tell my story better, and you improve. And the cool thing is when you start a project like that, you are learning so much and you are learning from your mistakes. And I all the time thought that mistakes are not good, but mistakes are super amazing. Of course, sometimes they are not good. Yeah. But all in all, they are super amazing because they help you see things that you haven't known.
Mm,
And they also help you to figure out what you want to do the next time. So
mm,
I want to encourage you to really go for it and do the mistakes. Or if you have someone who already has been on this journey, maybe ask them what you should do to avoid, but you will make mistakes during the time. For
mm,
example, I also often forgot to put in music into reels. And then I saw, okay, the algorithm is not that good if I forget music. Or
mm,
I forgot so many things. One day I forgot to post an episode because I told myself that I want to post every Wednesday. And then there was so much going on and I forgot and I posted it on the next day. And the thing is, I just did it, you know? It was there. It was a Thursday, but the episode was there. And if it's on a Wednesday or on a Thursday, people don't care. It's just like you have something and you stay disciplined and continue your path. And yeah, the thing is, so many people are thinking about themselves. I learned that really. And I wouldn't say that they don't care about you, but they are so in with their life that they don't care about your life so much as they care about your, yeah, I think you know what I mean. And
mm,
so it's okay if you forget something. It's okay if you are doing mistakes because often no one ever thinks about that. For
mm,
example, this is also a very cool thing that I learned. No one knows how you will continue the sentence. You know how will continue the sentence, but if you, for example, are if you want to say something and it doesn't come into your mind, no one knows. And this is also one thing which was super amazing for me because sometimes you want to tell so inspiring stories and then we forget something. But the thing is, no one knows what you wanted to tell. So it's super okay if you take a shortcut, for example.
100%. And I think it's also like even just failing and making mistakes in public allows others to feel like they're allowed to make mistakes too. And maybe that's exactly what needed to happen and what needed to be shared. Who's to say the successes and the failures, what's better or worse? There's no better or worse. It's just different. And it's just what it needs to be in that moment. And it's also accepting that and also like being okay with like being authentic and not being perfect and allowing others to not feel the pressure to be perfect.
Yes, because we are all human. We all have our mistakes and we all are perfect as we are.
Mm,
And I think this is one of the most important thing for me. I want to share kind of everything from me because we are all human. If I am not having the makeup, I still love myself and all the other people also love me because they know me and nobody needs to be perfect. What we are seeing on Instagram and TikTok, I mean, sometimes they have filters on. The thing is, I didn't even wanted to go on social media. I was
mm,
shy. I just posted pictures from landscapes and nature, and I didn't even wanted to do social media. And then I started painting, and everyone was like, "Alex, come on, you need to share your paintings." Because I started to paint abstract and
mm,
with great walls and or canvas, and I posted the paintings, and then I was super happy about the feedback, and I also sold so many of them. And then I got into it because I had to with my podcast. And then everyone was like, Alex, your pictures are not that perfect as others. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to use a filter because I'm a human. And it looks like it looks, you know? I don't have to put on any filter because that's just me. I want to present myself and I don't want to have this perfect Alex, which is not existing with bigger eyes or I don't know, better skin or something like that. I'm just myself.
Yeah, I think that is so important. And I think a big part of that is also allows you to not burn out. I think a lot of people burn out in social media with like wearing the masks. And yeah, I think, you have to enjoy the journey, but to enjoy the journey, you have to be oneself. Otherwise, it will get tiring, right?
Of course, of course. And you also have to set boundaries. If you're, for
Mm.
example, sick and you can't be on the phone, you can tell your audience that you are sick and it's totally fine. Everyone gets sick or everyone does a vacation. It's okay. You don't have to put this pressure on yourself to all the time be online or be the perfect version. Everyone, as I said, is a human, and a human also needs breaks to, yeah, to focus on him or herself and to get to know her better. But you can just do that if you take the time for yourself.
Mm. What does taking time for yourself look like?
uh, I love to take time for myself. Like, the thing is, I had issues taking time for myself when I grew up. I never learned to take time for myself. And I had this totally mind shift when I got ill because I haven't had any other opportunity to like not have time with myself because I was forced to. I was laying on my couch for hours and I couldn't move, and then you're forced to, yeah, ground yourself and everything. And then I learned about so many things in personal development. For example, that there is journaling. I all the time had my diary, but I never used it the way I do it now. I was taking notes. I was, for example, I'm with my mom, we did that, but I never used it to reflect on myself. So this is one thing I'm doing all the time, reflect on myself. Even if I am, I don't know, in the city center and I have a thought, then I note it down and I reflect on that. I love to take salt baths with oil, and I just love to stay in the bathtub and have the warm water and just relax and do nothing. Then one very important thing is to put my phone away because my
Mm.
phone is one of the biggest distractions. And when I put my phone away, I'm a complete different person sometimes. And this is also my me time, putting away my phone. I don't have to be reachable for everyone 24/7. It's okay to not answer texts at the moment you are getting it. And then I also, I mean, there are so many things I'm taking. For example, walks. I love to see the nature. I love to bike because I couldn't do this. This is why I am enjoying it so much more right now, and I'm so thankful that I can do it. I was skiing after 7 years of not doing it. And this was like, I was standing there and I was like, oh my God, this is possible again. It's like, it's beyond everything I could have ever imagined. I prayed for it that I can do it again for 3 years. And then I was able to do it. And I was just like, yeah, beyond grateful. And there are so many things you can do to take time, even if it's just a small painting on a notebook, for example, just 5 minutes, or meditation. Because many people think about meditation like, I don't know, but it's also like you lying on the couch, you are thinking or not thinking about anything, you're just taking time for yourself, you're feeling yourself, you connect with yourself. And I think this is one of the most important things, that you connect with yourself, that you feel what you want to do with your life, what you're feeling in this moment. What, for example, if you're not feeling good, is not correct, I would say. And then change it to the better. And yeah, like, I'm kind of all the time thinking about myself right now because I want to make the best out of my life, and I also want to feel the best I can do. For example, when I'm waking up, I I'm so happy because I want to do things and I want to have this positive impact. But I'm taking time for myself. Like I am getting into this feeling, in this positive feeling, and I'm staying in this positive feeling for as long as I can hold it. And then I'm doing my affirmations, and then I'm standing up, then I drink my warm lemon water to help my system to get out of the things that don't belong into my body. And I'm also doing a workout after that. And also what I'm doing, which helped me a lot, is doing sports and also going or running or whatever you prefer. Taking the bike is so essential, like being in nature, being outside, not inside, because if you're inside, you're just, you're maybe becoming an overthinker like I was. But if you're out, if you get other impressions, if you see other people, this is also very inspiring.
100%. And I suppose you could even see people online if perhaps it doesn't feel like maybe you're struggling to find people in your environment. Like, yeah, how do you manage the online world versus the real world, and like how do you see the internet as a tool and social media as a tool, as before you weren't so interested? That's quite a change as well in you.
I would say that my For You page is so different than my old For You page before I started, because now my For You page is all about content creation, about inspiring things like personal development, tips and tricks, and also about entrepreneurship. And I have to say that I also, for example, if I post something, it stays. Sometimes I stay on the platform and then I am like, no, 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 put it away, because then you are, I don't have to be all the time on the platform, you know?
Mm.
So I manage it. I set boundaries, because if I am, of course, if I do content research, I use it for myself. But I need to set boundaries to, for example, say, okay, I post this and then I put my phone away because it is posted and I don't want to stay on the platform all the time because it's my time and I don't want to waste my time. But of course, I loved to stay on the platform to get inspired, to get the guts to do something. And I think there is also so much inspiring content out there that helps you to improve yourself. And for example, if you are feeling lonely and you don't want to go out, then this can also help you to like ground yourself. If you are, for example, having someone popping up and tell you, oh, you're super amazing, you can do whatever you want to and stuff like that, I think that also helps people. But
Hun-
you should, sorry.
no, go for it, go for it.
Yeah, but you should look what your For You page shows you. And if you're not inspired or if there is no positive impact for you, then maybe you should change it towards what's good for you.
Do any like content creators or mentors come to mind for you?
Of course, like not just in the social media world, but during the last years, I had different mentors. One of the most inspiring mentors from Austria is Dominik Sörler, because he helped me getting my financial stuff correct. And then, of course, I had others in the entrepreneurship field. But in social media, one really inspiring person as I thought about her today is Jen Gottlieb. I don't know if you have heard about her. She's a motivational speaker. Also, Mel Robbins. I think,
Hmm.
yeah, Mel Robbins. I started with Tony Robbins. I started with the Law of Attraction, and yeah, there are so many. There is a content creator, I don't know her name right now, but she also inspires me every day because she's posting every day something really inspiring how you can do your content better. And I need to think about the question again because I'm just, you just see them all the time, but then you forget. Yeah, because you're having them all the time in front of you, you kind of forget, yeah, how
I
they
think
how
that
they
the energy and the message is almost more important than the name, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Do you
that's
think
so true.
more people should be posting to social media? And how could they pursue that? And how did you know you wanted to?
So I think everyone should post on social media, not to impress someone, but to learn more about yourself, what you
Mm,
like, what you don't like, because when you are telling your story, you inspire others.
mm,
And you don't even know who you inspire. This is what I have learned, that I inspire people I didn't even know that they are coming to me and that they are saying like, Alex, oh, that was so inspiring. Thank you for that. I didn't even know that. And I wasn't even, yeah, I didn't even know that this person was listening to my podcast. So you can open yourself those remarkable opportunities if you start with social media, because I was also this person. I never wanted to be on this platform. I thought it's a bad thing. And yeah, I don't wanted to show myself. But as you start, because you also said, how do you start? You just take your phone and you just record yourself. I mean, if you want to start a bit more professional, you also buying professional microphones. Like I have, for example, the DJI that you just clip here and then the voice gets better. But in the end, you just need to start, and we all have a phone. And I guess most of the people have a better phone than I have. So I would say everyone should post something, because the thing is, I also watched a content creator on YouTube and he also said everyone should be on social media because there is so much to learn when you start. And that's so true. You can open yourself opportunities you didn't even know that they exist, and you learn so much about not just content creation but about storytelling, about other people. You connect with other people on the platform that you don't even know that they exist, for example, and then you get positive feedback or feedback, how you can improve yourself. So I think it's very important that not just on social media, but in general, people start to go for their dreams and share their journey, because when you share your journey, you are an inspiration for someone who hasn't started. And when he or she can watch you, you inspire him or her to also get started. And maybe he or she is connecting with you, and then you can help each other to get better in this field and start together a big project, for example.
100%. And how do you manage like boundaries with social media? Like what should someone post or what shouldn't someone post or
Yeah, so what should and what shouldn't. For example, have interviewed someone and she's a webcam girl. And I didn't know about this field. Like I know that it existed, but I haven't ever, I never met an expert in this field. And then I got the opportunity to speak with her. And I posted the interview, and 2 days an entrepreneur was reaching out to me and said, we can't do the interview anymore, or I can't do the interview with him anymore because I interviewed her. And then I asked him, have you listened to the interview? And he said, no. And then I was like, okay, because if you would have listened to the interview, then you would have known that it's not about porno things. It's about how she managed her day, how he, as you asked me, how she is going through this with the pressure that she needs to present herself through the webcam all the time, and that she has those specific dates where she needs to present herself the best. And those were my questions, like how she also improved herself, what other people from this niche should know when they want to start. Because as I said, I didn't even know that, yeah, there are restrictions. For example, you can't film or you can't be a webcam girl all around the world because some countries are restricted and you can't do this in this country. And I didn't even know that. And this was so interesting for me. So I think you should post what feels good for you. And if you, for example, don't feel good to, for example, promote someone or something, you can all the time turn it down. You can delete it or save it and post it later again. For example, when I got this negative feedback, which was so interesting, I felt like, oh my God, I need to take it down because it's a bad thing, and I really took it down. I took this interview down and then said, no, it's not. It's so unfair because I want to share her expertise, and it's really a niche that exists in this world, and it's a big niche, and people should also know about this because it's an opportunity, and maybe someone connects, not and gets inspired, not maybe not to become a webcam girl, but to become or to go for his or her dreams through her message. And this is why I said, no, I need to put it online, and I put it online again, and I felt so happy because I was seeing that this decision, the first decision, came from this, from the other world, from this person who said, no, you can't do this, you know. And as I asked himself then if he was listening to this interview, and he said no, then I was clear, okay, no, he hasn't even listened to my stuff, so he can't make a decision about anything I am posting. So I can listen to myself again and put it online.
100%. I mean, people's judgments often tell us more about them than ourselves.
That's so true. That's so true. And for example, if I tell people what I'm doing, also some people are saying, oh my God, you're a content creator. Ah, that's so bad. And all those people who have success with this and they are just making, I don't know, there was a girl which was getting very famous because she made just sounds or something like that. And I said, yeah, but she got famous. She had this idea. She was bold and was putting herself out there. I mean, you need to have the idea and you have to be
Mm,
this boldness to get out there. So I am never jealous of someone else. Why should I? Because this person had the idea. This person inspires others to go for her dreams or inspires others in another way. So why should I ever be jealous of anyone? And I also got negative feedback. And of course, if you are new to this, you're taking it personally. But as you said, it's not about you because most times the people don't know what you are doing. It's about them.
100%. And that's, yeah, it's such a spiritual journey, content creation, just even journaling. But I find like content creation almost like journaling on a video level. Um, and yeah, it's a very personal journey. And it's also like, yeah, you will get criticism and you will get love. And it's to not take either too seriously to heart because it's for the other person as well. And you're creating a space, it's like these digital environments we're creating are like corner of the internet in a way.
Yeah,
How do you
that's so true.
see creating community with your content creation, and like how much is it like you and your journey versus like, yeah, having guests and collaborating?
I would say this is one of my favorite things ever. Like I didn't even know that I have this spark to motivate people so much. And I had interviews where the person was super shy and then I motivated her, for example, and she was like, yeah, now I can present myself better. And I'm super happy that you motivated me. And I'm like, yeah, look at you. Look at what you already achieved. This is so inspiring for others. And why don't you see it? And I think this is one of the most interesting things, that people who have success in either, I think everyone is successful because everyone has achieved something in his or her life. So I think this is one thing that is so important, to see what you already have in your life and be grateful about that. And if you don't have it in your life yet, what you are wishing for, then you should believe that you will have it one day. Because I can tell you, this is what worked for me. I told myself every cell of my body is going to heal, and I am capable of doing everything again, like skiing or flying around in the world. And I was praying for it for 3.5 years, and then it was possible again. And this is such an overwhelming feeling. But if you are in this process where you are at this point where it's possible again, you should look back where it wasn't possible, because this changes your sight on, I would say, life enormous. Because if you see what you are capable of, then you can also see that you are the creator of your life and that everything is possible.
It's taking your power back. It's like controlling what actions you can take. And I mean, for me, the biggest one is like with social media, it's such a patience thing, but it's also understanding what is the real measurement of impact and even success. It's, it might not be reaching more people. It's just about reaching the right people in the way that resonates to you. And there's so many different ways. There's short video, there's long video, there's podcasts, there's live streaming, but it's finding what works for you and controlling the actions that you can control. And like, yeah, how important is patience, and how important is having the correct goals, and understanding like why you're even doing it, right? Like what keeps you creating?
What keeps me creating? Having an impact worldwide to inspire millions of people to go for their dreams and their desires, because we just have all this one life. And I think everyone should be happy in this world. And this is what I want to do. I want to bring happiness to the people again, because I for myself felt lost for over 20 years. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was studying environmental science. I got my master's. And after all, I had my master's in my hand, but I wasn't feeling happier than before. And as I said, then I got ill, and then I had the opportunity to connect with myself and figure out what I want to do. And this is what helps me creating every day, standing up every day, because my heart is for helping people all around the world to get out of this. I don't know what to do with my life. I'm searching the purpose of my life. I'm unhappy. I'm depressed. No, I want to change that, because I did a research how many people are depressed in this world. And as I was doing my research, I needed to cry, because I was crying so much, because I was thinking, this can't be possible. No one of this world should feel as shitty as I did for years. I want to change that. I want to, yeah, that everyone in this world is happy, And this really brings me up every day to create content and to go for my dreams and go for my desires, because I set myself this goal to inspire millions of people in this world to make the best out of their life.
so important. And I truly believe like the small things make such a difference. Like everybody can play such a big part, and we need every single person to play their part. Like for you to inspire others, you know. And that's the thing, is it's not just, you know, about us, it's about how we can get everyone involved. And everyone should start a podcast if they want to, and everyone should post to social media if they want to. But yeah, even yeah, I'm sure there's so many people who don't want to, but maybe they don't even understand why they should, and what they could get out of it, you know, and realizing it's as much for ourselves as it is for others.
I would say it's more for others, or I
Mm,
see it. It's not about me. I'm just a
mm,
speaker, you know. It's about my message that my life, what I have been through, is like this journey should inspire others to go for their dreams, to show that everything is possible, to show that you have all these remarkable opportunities. You need to, you just it's super when you haven't done it before, it's super hard, but you just need to go for these remarkable opportunities. And as a friend of mine always said, Alex, you have all the opportunities every day. You just need to see them. You just need
mm,
to set this mindset, I want to go for it now, and then really do it. But
mm.
getting into doing is also a really, yeah, difficult topic, which I was hiding, and I procrastinated for, as I said before, for over a year. But if you have a higher purpose, which is not about you, which is about others, I think everything will come together and you're just like, I want to do this now.
Yeah, definitely. You have to ask yourself, like, why? Like, what is the real motivation and the reason? And if the motivation is not genuine or real, then it, you know, you might be destined to fail. But it's how can we be more intentional and more coming from the heart, you know?
Yeah, I think it's really important that you do things from your heart because other people see
Mm,
that then. And as you said before, it's this chain. If you are going out there and you inspire someone, then this person, if he or she is inspired, can also inspire another one. If you, for example, are smiling to a stranger on the street and he gets happy about this and he takes this happiness with him or her, then he can also inspire other people on the street to make them happier. And it's this chain. If more people are happier, I guess the whole world gets better, happier, more beautiful.
100%. What has been your learnings and themes with your podcast? I mean, even with me, people always ask me, like, oh, what's my podcast about? But it takes time to really understand what it's about. And it's so cool to see how the different guests, and exactly like you're saying, having guests from all different backgrounds, and there's value in every single person's story, right?
Yes, yes. So I would say one of the most inspiring things and learnings is that you don't have to have it figured out from the point where you're starting. As I said before, I was transforming from remarkable opportunities, from interviewing guests about their personal and also entrepreneurial success and life opportunities and positivity, towards now life's opportunities and mental health or mental transition towards personal growth. And I would say that if you have this passion, if you have this thought in your head that there is something that you would like to do, you should go for it because your time gets less and less. And the thing is that, or one of the main things I've learned is, why haven't I started earlier? Why
Hmm.
have I made this mistake to not, as I had this thought in my mind that I could start the podcast, why haven't I taken the guts to do it, you know? And the thing is that I've learned, it just takes time. It takes time to improve yourself. It takes
Mm.
time to get the strength to do it. Everything, I think, has its own timing, and you shouldn't be too hard on yourself. So I think a really, really good thing to remember is that you should be your best friend, because your best friend loves you the way you are and would all the time support you. And if you, for example, are doing a mistake your in your field, kind of, this best friend would also say, Alex, this is totally okay. You're doing fine. You have done your best. It's no mistake. You've learned something from it. So bless you. Don't be too hard on yourself, I would say. And also embrace the opportunities your life holds. This, I would say, is also very, very important, to really see what opportunities do I have now, what can I do with it, and what do I want in the future to. But this future goal, you will achieve it, but you first need to go and do something to get it.
And you might not achieve it the way you thought, and it's maybe, not being obsessed with the how, but understanding the where you want to go, I suppose. And also perhaps being flexible. Like, how important is it for you to be flexible? Like, when you started your podcast, is this how you thought it would be now?
Never, 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 never. Like, I imagined it, but I think you can't say what happens in the future.
Mm,
You can't even say what happens tomorrow. As you are continue doing, I think your path will get clearer and clearer. And there is also a saying in the entrepreneurial world that under 2 years, you're not capable of knowing what you are doing. So I think the first 2 years are that you figure out what to do, that you are really getting this clarity, what my path should look like. And then while continuing doing this, you are able to get different opportunities, to get different chances, to involve yourself, and then you are you are taking those opportunities to yourself. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like, because you are doing this what you are passionate about, and you are getting better and better and better and better, you're opening yourself towards remarkable opportunities
mm,
that you even haven't thought. Because if someone is listening to your podcast, for example, and it don't even know that this successful entrepreneur is listening to your podcast, but you inspire him so much that he is calling you and asking you to cooperate with him, I think this is really a great thing that also should help people to start, because you are opening yourself for opportunities that weren't possible if you are just thinking about it. Because this is also a very good learning. No one knows what's in your head. If you have this super amazing idea, but you don't bring it into the world, it will all the time stay an idea.
so true. Looking back on your podcast, what would be your advice to yourself starting the podcast, or even someone else starting their own podcast?
The minute you have the thought to do a podcast, do it. Don't hesitate. Set the first dates to, for example, don't also think too much about your brand. Name it, and then you can also rename it during the process, but just start. You don't have to be,
Mm,
or you don't have to be the perfect design, the perfect everything. Record the first episodes with your guests, or if you're doing it alone, record the first episode, write them. And also, what I've learned, if you are doing solo episodes, also script them, because it's so easy to just, when you're talking, to lose the what is the word, the right path, kind of, and you're talking about this but you wanted to talk about that. So I think scripting is very important, or having the scenes that you want to talk about in your mind. and also start with a good hook.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you will improve over time, and the clarity will come over time, and the skills.
Yes, of course. And you will learn so much that you didn't even know that exists. You will learn about things that are important that you don't even knew. And you will also appreciate other content creators because it's not just so easy that you push record and then upload it. There is so much else behind it. And then you
Mm.
see, okay, this is super inspiring what other people put efforts in. They can do it, I can do it as well.
100%. And I think even a big thing is there's no rules. You don't have to even publish your podcast, let's say. Like, even just having more impactful conversations with friends and family is such a blessing, right? And just being interested in every single person that we come across. Everything is special in that sense. We can learn so much from people. It doesn't always have to be, doesn't even have to, yeah, exactly, be public or recorded. But like, to me, a podcast is just a conversation, and all of life is a conversation.
True, true. So you're having a podcast all the time with your friends and family members. They are just not recorded.
100%. Yes, but there's something so magical about recording and being intentional and showing up and even sharing, right? But it's all important, and that's the thing. Like, is understanding like what is stopping one. Like, is it the sharing part, or is it the recording part, or yeah, understanding like where people are going wrong. Maybe you've even seen so many patterns of like what holds people back the most. But perhaps it's even, oh, what are my friends and family going to think? My advice there is start a new account that your friends and family might not even know about, and that's also okay. To whatever is going to make you feel comfortable. Exactly, it's the boundaries, right? Whatever is going to make you feel free to create freely.
Yes, so I think this is a really big issue. What would think others about myself when I'm posting this, or this? And I have also had this fashion influencer in my as my guest in my podcast, and she was also telling me, yeah, the problem was that I thought, what will others think about me? And I think you shouldn't think about that. But I think I also had the problem that first, for example, my aunt said, why is she posting selfies of her right now? And I was like, yeah, because I want to do that. I want to express myself. And this is the way I'm doing it right now. And I think it's all about yourself, what you feel good about, what you want to share with the world. You don't have to share everything, but I think it's so important that you go online to be visible for others,
Mm.
because every one of us inspires, and every one of us has a story to tell, which is a opener for someone else to go and tell his story. So I think, as you said, everyone should start and everyone should go, but also think about, this was the main question which hindered myself, because I was really not shy. I had this limiting belief that I didn't want it to have success in my life, because I got this limiting belief from external things. It wasn't my belief, it was from external, because I knew I wanted to be successful, to be an inspiration for others, that they can fulfill their dreams. And then I procrastinated, as I told you. And then I sat at my table one day and I asked myself, what hinders me from doing this podcast? Why don't I want to have this success in my life? And then I turned in, and there were so many answers to this. Like, as you said, I am too shy to that people other or I don't want that people feel bad about myself or think bad about me. But the thing is, No one knows what you have been through in your life. No one knows what you are doing in your life. So people can't judge you. People can't compare themselves with yourself, because I all the time say that no one was there all the time, every second in your life. Just you were there all the time. So only you can speak about yourself, because you know everything about yourself. You were there all the time. No one else was there. Not your parents, not your best friend, not your mother, you. So no one can compare him or herself with another, in my opinion. And was then also one thing, this mindset shift helped me. That, for example, if my aunt was saying, why is she posting so many pictures about herself? Okay, this is not an issue I have, this is her issue. She is
Mm,
not okay that I show up now, but I am okay to
mm,
show up now. I am okay to speak my message. I'm okay to tell my story. So really think about yourself. Think about what's best for you. Show what you want to show the world. And if you are not sure what to share, just feel yourself and see, is this good for me or is this not good for me? You don't have to share everything with the world. And also, if you have problems, because for years, I had problems to make decisions. I all the time needed to ask someone else, because I haven't learned how to make decisions for myself. And I learned this super amazing tool that you can ask yourself. For example, should I post this video right now? And is it good for me? And then you can close your eyes, or you can open or have your eyes open. And then you all the time ask yourself these questions, and the answer needs to be a yes or no. So, and if the answer is a yes, your body will go front. And if it's a no, your body will go back. And then you have your answer. And if you, for example, are not okay with a yes, then you are like, then you see that you are not okay with the yes, that you want to have a no, and then you can go for the no, you know?
100%. Yeah, some people even say you can like flip a coin and then see how you react. You're like, oh, ah, or yeah, that feels right. But it's
Yeah.
similar. But that's, yeah, better to tap into one's body, I think.
Yeah, because I think the body has all the answers already, or yourself have all the answers already.
100%. It's just creating that space for ourselves to feel and to not rush ourselves in that.
Yeah, I think rushing yourself not to be perfect, as you said from the beginning on, is so important. You don't have to figure out everything from the first second when you're starting. Everyone starts with 0 followers. Everyone starts with the YouTube channel that doesn't exist, kind of, and it all takes time getting from, you can't, for example, if you have, I don't know, if you haven't trained your body for years, you can't have a six pack in 10 days. This says social media, but in the real world that's not
Mm,
possible. So everything takes time, and it's also good that it takes time, but because you
mm,
will learn as longer as you are doing this thing, whatever you want to do, but you are improving yourself, you get better. And if you stay consistent and disciplined, one day I know that this success will pay off.
100%. And exactly what you're saying with like getting the abs super quick. The quicker we get things, the less we like appreciate them. And let's say you got abs super quick, then you might like, even success, right? The like slow and steady is definitely the way, for so many reasons. And yeah, that's how important is consistency for you, and also just like tapping into the intuition. Like, how much is it like being rigid with the consistency, or like being free flowing and creative, I suppose.
I would say it's more and more about the consistency. And I also, if for example, I am getting this super inspiring thought, I want to also have this free flowing in my podcast, in my videos, because if I think this thought can be an inspiration for someone, I want to share it. But consistency and discipline is so important. Showing up every day, doing, for example, sports every day, building my dream every day. And also, if it's really your dream, you are like super happy when you can work on it. You don't have to
Mm,
be 100% all the time super happy, because of course there are times where like, I don't want to do this right now and I would rather like do nothing. But in the end, when I'm looking back and then I see the um videos I recorded when I had this thought, and I said, no, I will do this now because I said I will record today this episode and it's on my plan. I do it. And then when I look back and I listen to the episode, I'm like, wow, you had this thought, and you, even if you had this thought, you went through it and you did it. And I think this is how you improve yourself, to just do it. If you say you do it, then do it. Because I don't know if you know this, but if you don't do it and you say it to yourself, it is not good for yourself, because you train yourself to not, that you don't listen to yourself. You know what I mean? That you are saying I do
mm,
it, but I don't do it. So you are training yourself that you can't rely on yourself. Yeah.
100%. And it's also like trusting your past self. Like your past self arranged this podcast for a reason, or your past self, said that you wanted to show up in this way. It's also trusting that, but I suppose also being flexible and allowing yourself to make new choices. So, how do you balance that?
I think this is a really, really important thing. For example, if you have done a decision that in the, like in the back, like let's say it's almost March right now, and you made a decision in December and you're not happy with it right now, it's a past decision. You can all the time alter the decision, and you
Mm,
can go what's right for you right now. So I would say there are specific frames I stick to, because I said to myself, mental transition towards personal growth is my main focus right now. But if this turns in, I don't know, maybe 2 years or something like that, that's also super fine, because then I'm more like another topic that I want to share. So, what's right for you in this situation, I would say, is the right thing to do.
mm. I mean, even the fact that you're changing how you're structuring your YouTube channel now, what has kind of led to that? And yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting on my couch and I thought, I don't want to speak about success anymore, because this is not as important for me right now than my mental health. And I studied the people who were depressed, and I thought, no, I want that people are happy. And this is why I changed it towards mental health, to improve the mental health of people all around the world. And this is why I decided to do it in English, because I started in German. The all the episodes in the beginning were German, with experts, and we spoke in German. And then I saw, no, I want to have an impact all around the world. And this is why I changed to English, and to also open opportunities for myself. So, as I said, you can all the time change what you are doing and go towards the thing that is right for you in this moment. And I think this is super, super. inspiring. But I would also say not to, like, if you start with something and 2 minutes later you're like this, and then 2 minutes later you're like that. No, you shouldn't like all the time
Mm.
change it. You should stick towards something, and then after a longer time, if you're seeing this works, then you can change it. Also, for example, in the work life, I started at an environmental company, and I the first day I was going there, and I said to my mother, I will get depressed there because I'm not feeling happy. Like, and she was like, ah, you're there the first day, you can't say it, you know. And she said, work there for few months and then you will see how it goes. And I was working there every day, and I was like, my feeling hasn't changed. I felt it from the first second that
Mm.
this wasn't the right thing for me. So if you have this feeling that it's not right for you, that you should change it, then really go for it. But if it's like out of fun that you want to change it, then maybe think about it a second day or a third day and then change it if it feels right. But yeah, there is a definition, not a definition, a difference between changing something every second, minute, and being really sure that you want to change it. You know what I mean?
Mm. And I think, yeah, it's so important to experiment, and it's so important to not put ourselves in boxes that don't serve us, you know? And one way that I've done that is having like multiple Instagram accounts or YouTube accounts or TikTok accounts, and allowing the different sides of ourselves to emerge. And then also to realize it's all us. So it can also all just be on one account, but whatever like serves us. But I definitely recommend like people to have second accounts where they can feel more experimental and have fun, and that's the most important thing, is you have to enjoy it, right? And I think you speak about sports, and that's the biggest thing, right? You can, go on a strict diet and workout routine, but if there's no enjoyment in that, eventually the motivation will die down. It's finding ways to be healthy and active that are enjoyable, and trying new things and keeping it unique. And even with content and creating, trying new things and allowing yourself that freedom to change, but also having that discipline to show up consistently, even if you're showing up in different ways.
Yeah, I think that's also so unbelievable important that you're trying things, as you said, and showing up not just for you but for others, because you
Mm.
are the inspiration for others to show up as well.
How do you manage the online side and the physical side? I think it's such an important thing to kind of bridge the two, to have like an online presence, but also, yeah, have that align with your physical presence in the world. And yeah, not only do the online and maybe not only do the in person, and just understand how they can complement each other and come together.
So I have my podcast where I record episodes with guests and also solo episodes. And then I reframe them towards shorts that I post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And then I also, because I'm all the time looking for inspiring personalities, reaching out or have conversations with someone else. And I'm on my phone kind of almost every day, almost the whole day. But nowadays, because this was myself for such a long time and I used to stick on the platforms. And nowadays I say, no, I really, when I want to work focused, I need to put away my phone. I need to have this presence that I feel myself again. This is why for example, also I'm waking up and I'm not going on my phone
Hmm.
at the moment I'm waking up. I'm getting into myself, I'm having my affirmations, I'm doing my sports, and then I'm going to my phone because I want to have this me time. And I also do this every day before I go to bed to turn off my phone, to leave it in another room and then to do my affirmations and my journaling because it's again me time. And during the day, when I am with someone, for example, when I am at a network event or when I'm having conversations with someone, I am also putting my phone away
To be present is
to be
definitely
present.
important. Is there any questions or topics you feel like we haven't touched on that you'd like to touch on?
I think we have spoken about so many things right now. We can do a second episode if someone has questions or someone wants to get some more insights, because I think a very important thing is that you can be and do whatever you want. As you said, it's so important that you do it from your heart and have fun with it. I think
Mm,
this is the end message that I want to share because this is the most important thing. You can be and do whatever you want to do. Just be happy, see if it's right for you and stick towards it. And even if it don't feel right at one day, maybe the next day you will love it again, and stay consistent, stay disciplined, and over time you will improve.
thank you so much. What an awesome podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. I'm so happy that you asked me, and yeah, I wish you all the best.
You as well. Awesome.